You know, sometimes life just isn't fair. For 72, the 442 package was no longer its own model. It was a simple option package on a bunch of different cutlasses. For 29 bucks, the standard engine was a 352 barrel. You know, didn't even have any more horsepower than your Rantilli's Delta 88. But the smart enthusiast knew what boxes to check on the option form, and a real performance car was waiting to be built. This is Muscle Car Campy, and you know, if you've been following the channel, we have a real soft spot for the cars out of Lansing, Michigan. This one's a genuine U-Code 455 automatic car, and it's got lots of cool options. We're going to tell you all about it. But before we really get into it too much, don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes live. You know, for a measly 29 bucks, the 442 is a seriously good value. It got you the FE2 suspension upgrades with heavy-duty springs and shocks, front and rear sway bars, box lower control arms, and what Olds called heavy-duty 14x7 wheels. It also included side striping and fender and deck lid badging, not to mention fake hood louvers and a unique grille. The 72 was the last bastion of Olds greatness in its midsize muscle car. For 73, the W30 package was history, and what did come in 73 was a Colonnade body style with giant bumpers front. What some people don't realize is that the 72s were supposed to be the first year of the Colonnade body style. This great looking car was actually carried over for an extra year. As we said earlier, the 352 barrel was the standard engine for the 442 that year, and we find it hard to imagine how this car could even get out of its own way. This car has option number 1, which was the 270 horse 455, made 270 horsepower at 4,400, and it also made 370 pound-feet of torque. Sadly, the W30 package was not available if you lived in California, where it would not pass emissions regulations. W30 cars came with the lightweight aluminum intake, the fiberglass ram air hood, anti-spin diff with 342 or 373 gears, and heavy-duty cooling. AC was not available with the W30, and power brakes could only be had with the automatic transmission. It was rated at 300 net ponies and 410 pound-feet of torque. In testing, Motor Trend ran a 14.5 at 92 miles per hour with an automatic equipped W30, while high-performance cars got one to go 14.37 at 98 miles per hour. This would be the last go-round for the W30. It did not live to see 1973. Our feature car today belongs to Robert Ballou. He is the third owner of the car, though his name is only the second one to be on the title. He added a few features to make this car his own. It's got the W25 fiberglass cold air hood. It's got the W30 stripes on the side. And like most guys today, he added the deck lid spoiler on top. But the car is full of great options. Power windows, air conditioning, AM/FM 8-track, the rally gauge package. I mean, this car is a real beauty. And unlike most, the air conditioner blows ice cold, 38 degrees at any one time. He did a couple of tricks to it to make it right, and we're going to tell you about that too. You know, from the back, you can see the 442 badge that was part of your $29 option. These bumpers had cutouts in them for the trumpet exhaust, but only if you got a 455 powered car. If you had the standard 352 barrel, you got a single exhaust, no trumpet exhaust, no dual exhaust. These bumpers, I say this bumper and the bumper in the front, were both replaced by the owner. He needed to get better bumpers and just went to the aftermarket for them. They look great though. One thing that's really cool about this car, it doesn't say Oldsmobile on it anywhere. How confident was GM? When they made these cars, we don't need to tell you what it is. You knew what it was. Robert's car was originally built as a Cutlass S with the 442 package. Upon its restoration, he added the Cutlass Supreme bench seat with the fold-down armrest. But everything else pretty much is the way it left the factory in here. AM/FM stereo 8-track, which is very cool. Air conditioning. He has added the factory tissue dispenser. Air conditioning, tick-tock tack, full rally gauge package. He also added the hood lock under the dash. But power windows were part of this car from day one. He did change the color. The car was bronze with a white interior, and it did have the factory rallies. He wanted to go to a bigger tire, so he put 15-inch wheels on it when the center caps became available through the aftermarket. He really liked those chrome center caps, so he put the dog dishes on there. But Muscle Car Campy here. I don't know if you heard that fire up. Like a brand new 1972 Oldsmobile. I mean, oh Lord, that was wonderful. This is owner Robert Ballou. Robert, we will tell people, you said this is not the original 455 that came with the car. This is a 365 horse out of a 69 full size.
Yes.
So, is it stock inside?
Pretty much stock, yeah. Been rebuilt, may have been bored, I'm not really sure. I bought it already built.
Okay. And it certainly sounds stock. You gotta love that power steering, one finger. I just love looking out over that W25 hood though. I mean, it's just gorgeous. £370 of torque. Everything working beautifully. Now, Robert, we really dig all the cool options in this car. AM/FM stereo 8-track, which was an option over the AM/FM
Yes.
8-track. Stereo, totally funny how you would think that someone would buy it without stereo. The tic-tac-tock is illegible as always. Just cool stuff. The old 8-track you got, the factory 8-track, is very different. The power windows, I love the bench seat with the armrest. I mean, what do you love about this car the most?
It's just the options, how it drives. It's just all around nice car. Always has been. That's why I've had it so long.
And I think that's one of the reasons these A-bodies sold as well as they did. You know, a lot of cars, if you bought the mid-size version instead of the full-size, you were giving up some luxury, you were giving up some ride. These things rode just as nice as a full-size Olds.
Yep.
And a much more manageable package. I've had a 75 Delta 88 convertible. Man, that thing had its own zip code. It was a big old car. And you know, there's just something about these GMA bodies that just was totally spectacular. They really dialed them in right. That's when GM was at the top of its game.
And it's a comfortable car where you could even drive it every day if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
It's not your average muscle car where you gotta really get in and drive it.
Yeah.
You had to fight it to drive it.
Well, this is definitely a torque monster. What you said, this was a 365 horse
Yes.
engine originally?
Rated 365 horse.
Rated
Yeah.
at 365.
10.5 one compression motor.
That deep well of torque just gets the car moving so easily. I can't believe it's just, you go and boom, you're right up to speed.
And with the highway gears.
That's something I didn't mention earlier. Highway gears. Not only is it a 273 gear, but the original owner didn't opt for the anti-spin.
No, he didn't opposite, didn't check the box off.
Wow. So just a single peg leg rear.
Yep.
But man, this thing is barely turning. It's just like, it's like I just shifted into 5th gear on a modern overdrive gearbox.
That's why over the years I've never changed a gear in it.
How long have you had the car?
Bought it in 2000, been driving it since 2002.
Wow.
Finished it after a couple years owning it.
All stock style suspension parts in
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah, it's all pretty much all original.
Wow. power disc brakes up front like all 442s.
No.
When I'm driving someone else's car, I just never know how fast to take a turn. Like, I got on the brakes a little bit to slow it down.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is push off into the side of the road.
No, we don't want that.
I know that would not make for a good muscle car camping video. You'll probably get a lot of views. Yeah, the sport wheel gives you a nice feel. 4 spokes. Looks good. Definitely thicker than a standard steering wheel from back then. Now, Robert, you were telling us before the tricks that you did to make the air conditioner blow so cold in this car. Why don't you tell the viewers exactly what you did?
Well, I took the evaporator out of a 77 Oldsmobile or GMA body car. Will fit right in the box. You can change it over to a orifice tube, and you have a thermostat that covers your recycling on it. No pressure switch. And that makes it really blow cold. That was one of the best systems in 1977 when Oldsmobile, I mean when GM changed to that system. They used them on trucks and everything else. That was the best air conditioning. So,
is it easy to find the parts?
oh yeah, they're all available. I think on the Chevrolet trucks they started that system first, but on these cars they did, you know, the Cutlasses and stuff. They didn't, they still had expansion valves and all that stuff. And in 74, 5, and 6, they used what they call a VR system, and it wasn't very good either. So in 77, they did a complete change on GM cars.
All right, all you gear jammers, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to share the link for this car with your friends. Subscribe to the channel because, you know, you won't want to miss any of our upcoming videos.